Well, welcome back. This is where the chaos absolutely, truly, totally begins. Okay, so the neck is glued in place. I'm rustling in a pen drawer, desperately trying to find a pencil that has been cut in half laterally, and it's just taking too damn long. There we go. So if you rest a pencil that's been cut in half through the lead on the frets, it gives you the height, basically the lowest point at which you can cut your fret slot. You then use a normal pencil to mark slightly higher than that, which is going to be the size of the nut, and away you go. Hacksaws, best for bones. Dry bones at least, I'm not quite sure about the fresh ones. 6 hours, 57 minutes, 29 seconds. Crikey. So, 2 hours left. 2 hours left to finish building a guitar. I don't know. That's not a lot of time. You see, I started out with a fine file and then realised that was taking too long. The guitar itself is looking quite nice. I can't say the same for the Luthier, it must be said. Anyway, so one thing that comes to mind here is bone dust. You have to be aware of bone dust. It's an inorganic, amusingly, inorganic particle, and if that gets in your lungs, apparently, as far as I understand it, it just stays there. And over the years, this is where you get serious lung issues. Crikey, through this entire video I'm watching, and we're in the process of completely updating all of our health and safety stuff.
Don't do this at home, folks. It's not good for the heart.
Ah, there we go. I said heart, I meant lungs. Or did I mean rushing around? I don't know what I mean anymore.
My addiction.
I do rather like the smell of
I've just got to go do the writing on a YouTube video
bone.
today.
It is an acquired taste though. So this blank that I'm using was homemade, and the edges weren't quite square, so I'm having a bit of trouble trying to level it out so it actually fits. Yeah, mind your fingers.
Fingers.
You might have just seen a little bit of rock there.
Concentrate.
There you go.
Therefore.
The last thing I wanted to do was start filing off the wrong edge. So yeah, it makes sense to stop for a second and drop
Oops.
that and be absolutely...
What a way to treat your precision crimson tools.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, take a little bit longer to be absolutely sure you are taking off the right side.
How's it going, Christopher? It was fine. I keep on sanding the tips of my fingers off of my levelling beam. Fun times, yeah. It's the little things that just, make the day worth living, really. All right.
So even in a rush, I'm trying to only push with my files. With files and rasps, if you pull, you tend to blunt them a lot faster. Here I'm rounding the ends of the nut off, where your hand will be touching it the most. There are...
Christopher, do you have the nut slot rule?
I don't. Probably not there.
Could you ask on your way down if an apprentice or somebody can bring it up? Thank you very much.
Yes, as I was saying before, I so rudely interrupted myself. Sharp corners on nuts are an absolute no-no. It should never happen. Come on, Bill, I don't think you have time for this. Anyway, so you can see just how many uses we have for leveling beams. And I haven't even got to leveling the frets yet. I tend to use leveling files for that, though. The nut should be super glued down in place. It's super glue's great. It's very strong, but with a good sharp tap with a screwdriver or a hammer, or another bit of wood or something, that will delaminate and come away quite easily.
So we stand at 7 hours, 3 minutes 50 seconds. I have failed the 6-hour guitar test, but the 10-hour guitar that I'm currently building... Did I say 10? That's what we've been saying since the beginning, isn't it?
So yeah, the nut will come away, the glue will delaminate, and you can reshape or recut if necessary. I once had a nut that had been epoxied in, and I cursed that Luthier's name. Stop whistling. No, stop. I had a former master who whistled all the time, and it annoyed me so much that it's now banned at Crimson Task. So I'm using one of my very, very, very nice center point cutters to start the hole, and then you go on to a normal twist drill. Although, in this case, a cobalt coated twist drill, which is very pretty and stays sharper for longer or something like that. Just make sure I have access. Remember, we do have carbon fibre strengthening rods on either side of the truss rod. It doesn't mean that the truss rod won't work, but it does mean that it will work.
Oh, you beauty, thank you very much.
Basically, the neck is stiffer. The truss rod still turns, and it still creates a bend or a back bow in the neck as required. It just works a little bit harder. But conversely, because of the carbon fibre rods...
Who's choosing the music downstairs today?
I don't know. Because of the carbon fibre rods, you don't need to adjust the truss rod so much.
Whoever it is has very similar taste to me.
Maybe it's me.
I haven't had any Spice Girls yet.
No, apart from the Spice Girls, yes, of course. I mean, It's very acquired, isn't it?
The Spice Girls was
The Spice Girls was Sean's
first ever
first ever CD. Yeah.
First ever CD I bought myself. I think I trust it. Yeah.
Actually, the first ever CD I purchased was Gorilla's The Green One from Truss.
Shout. That's a great album.
Mine was Guns N' Roses' Use Your Illusions 2.
Really old.
Edge.
I wasn't even alive when that came out.
Yeah, we know you well.
Festive friend!
Okay, so that's good. I'm quite happy with that. Now, I had a little baggie here just now. Where'd that go?
As he takes a break.
Ah,
What's in your baggie, Ben?
Did he realise somebody smoked his joint?
that'd give me an out if I just keeled over.
Not so lucky. So in the baggie were a load of lovely 2mm mother of pearl side dots. The workbench is not sacred. I've just spooged a load of super glue on there, and from now on I poke Jessica, my lovely old Bradall, who I still love, into the super glue, then into the hole, and we've got a small enough amount of super glue there to hold the inlay in. A hammer is required. And basically from this point it's just rinse and repeat, really. So I'm going to have to find something intelligent to say while watching something that we've just watched and now know the process of. Those little tweezers are absolutely stunning, microfine. I don't know what they were originally for, a surgeon or something, but it goes down to a 0.1 of a mil point, and it is awesome. You can find joy in fine tools, no matter what they are actually made for. And you can find pain when you superglue the tips of them together while inlaying. Or ping your inlay across the floor, which has happened a couple of times, must be said. So there's my foolish little monogram. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of glow-in-the-dark inlays. I've been developing a range of glow-in-the-dark inlay things, and I think they're quite cool. Is it just me, or am I getting more frantic the further along I get? Never mind, we have 2 hours of craziness and quick fire decisions, potential mistakes, potential catastrophe, tears, pain, or perfection, and it goes swimmingly and I'm half an hour early. You never know. There's a quick look at what the finish could look like.
Just a hint of what the wood's going to look like.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very, very pretty. Okay, that's just a little bit in the way. So let us... James, can anybody go to the pub, go to the shop to get some beer for Phil? I suspect we're going to owe him some beer.
Do you say what's wrong?
Sorry?
Do you specify a brand?
No, that's a good point. We'll get him the beer when we know what he likes. Okay, side dots in. Yay. Are we even in the right place?
They need to be. I checked that many, many times. Stop looking at the clock.
I'm currently not as tired as I was at this stage of the last build. That's mainly because at this stage of the last build it was 9 hours by this stage. Good, we're good.
So the centre of the strings needs to be, on a guitar at least, 3mm from the edge of the fretboard. I sometimes go 3.5 on the bass strings. And here we are using a StewMac ruler because we haven't got round to making our own version yet, which is silly. And there you go. It's a nice easy way of marking out the string spacing. It's a compensated string spacing because of the design of the ruler. I'm still undecided as to whether it should be compensated or not, but well, the way the ruler works is the way the ruler works, and they've sort of justified the design by saying that it improves things. I haven't met a player who's ever noticed, to be honest. Back with a half ruler. Nope, half pencil. And that gives me the depth. I now need a rocking neck rest, come on. Which isn't big enough, so what I really need is, this is the standard rocking neck rest, but because of that clamp, I could do with one of the acoustic ones we make. I just don't have one up here. There's a tool that we make that I don't own. That's problematic. So I use a razor saw to mark the initial cut, and I also actually use that on the two finest strings. It just works best, basically. And from there we go on to the Crimson Guitars nut slotting files, which are made out of gauged steel, and the steel itself is the right width for the nut. That's a set of Svazo strings. You'll notice later that I actually picked up the wrong set, because I'm a fool. Yeah, I'm a fool. So here we go. Gauged file, cuts the nut slot basically exactly the right size. The act of making the teeth expands the steel fractionally. So if it's a 14 gauge string, or a 16 gauge for example, making the teeth makes the slot, if it's a 16 it makes it a 17 or an 18, which gives you just enough room to actually use it as an instrument, and go from there. It also has a round bottom hole, and because you can't beat a round bottom hole, can you? I just despair. And there we go. I've now had enough of advertising our tools. I need to find something else to talk about. So those tattoos, eh? What a choice. I don't know. Anyway, I have the full set, which means trying to figure out which number I need, and a lot. The nice thing is with this trick, if you mark with the pencil, that really is about where you want the bottom of the nut slot to be. And I haven't, at the end of this whole thing, we didn't actually need to adjust the nut at all. Stop sanding the nut. This is a time-sensitive thing, baby. Come on. Wow, what a noise. Without a logo, it's, not really a Crimson guitar, I suppose. It's just a guitar. So we make our own logos out of, all sorts of materials. This is aluminium in this case. And good old CNC machines can't really be beat. Does need a bit of final finishing though. Now, in the past, I have dropped things.
Do I think I'm going to make it? I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Don't. No.
Actually, kill me now, I'm quoting Bon Jovi. That's-
Don't give me that job. I'm media, not Undertaker.
Traditionally, Undertaker's... He's gone now.
Well, you're right. The Undertakers don't tend to do the killing unless they have completely run out of business. In which case, you know, well, it's entrepreneurial, I suppose. So, I, by hand, cut the truss rod access channel, and it doesn't actually give me as much room as I would like for the inlay to be in the centre of the headstock. Which means that I have to put it somewhere else. Okay, so quick and dirty inlay. Take the thing that you're inlaying, score around it with a scalpel blade, evacuate the cavity, glue in the inlay, and you're sorted. So here we go. Try not to slip is the question. Here you can see I'm holding the knife with a thumb and two fingers. The other two fingers on that hand are also resting on and holding the headstock, and then all 5 fingers on my other hand are either holding the headstock or also helping the knife go in the right place. And it's about total control over where the tool is and what the tool does.
Did James actually go to the shop to get beer?
I hear his voice downstairs talking to you.
That's right then.
Yes.
Otherwise I'd have to feel guilty.
But I now feel guilty about not.
You know that ID James if we went to buy beer.
I do know that they would ID James if you went to buy beer.
I feel guilty now though that we didn't have beer for Phil.
That was a big piece of wood.
So here we are with an inlay chisel. This is something that we have made in the past and will be reintroducing imminently. At Crimson Guitars we've been working on a forge for a while now, trying to figure out where is a safe place to put an open traditional blacksmith's forge in a woodworking workshop. It's ever so slightly problematic, it must be said. But we have it sorted now, and the forge will be online soon, which means that we will be producing an expanding range of inlay chisels. Because micro chisels, you just can't get them. 1 mil, 2 mil chisel. It's difficult. So here we go. And I absolutely love these. So you see, 10 minutes later, and I'm advertising another one of our tools. It's kind of the whole point of all of this, really, is to, you know, make fine tools, fine guitars, advertise them, and hopefully people will buy the guitars and the tools, and I get to do what I love to do for the rest of my life. And, you know, keel over of a heart attack at 97 while making my last guitar. Poo. Did you just say poo? You did, didn't you? There's a tiny, tiny little chip out of this cantankerous, difficult wood. But I have a tiny, tiny set of tweezers and super glue. So where was I? I think I was keeling over of a heart attack at 90. Anyway, so I'm going to continue talking about how fantastic our tools are, because that's what it's about. Sorry. There we go. Find exactly where the break happened. There's another little piece just sitting proud there. And a dab of super glue. Sorts it all out.
How are you, Luigi?
Got a present for you.
Oh, control knobs. You made them. Oh, bloody hell. Ah! So that's out of the fretboard.
Yep.
Look at that.
Here you go, the other
For the next guitar.
next guitar in this one.
Ooh. So we're going to need. Can you tap? Could you tap them somewhere about there with an M3 tap? Yeah. So there, it's ready. Basically, drill a 2.5 mil hole somewhere where it's going to hit the
Yeah.
node, and then just tap it, and then
Yeah, absolutely.
ask Tom Webster. There's a clear box of grub screws just outside engineering.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
There's little black and silver M3 grub screws. Thank you.
That's all
I hope we need them. I hope we need them.
You can do it. So the super glue is cured. Oh no, here we go. Just that's the little 3 mil inlay chisel. The design is going to be changing a little bit with the forge. It's going to be hand forged rather than cut out of steel in the way we have done it. But anyway,
Sorry. Can't rip this in.
the repair has been done, and I'll be able to.
That's it. I can't finish this. I've just had a head injury.
Blame it on concussion.
Yeah.
Naughty media department. At this stage, there are actually too many tools. Oh no, I'm putting super glue on now. There we go. There are too many tools on the bench, and it's starting to wear on me a little bit.
That was close. I didn't check which way the nozzle was pointing.
It would have made perfect TV. So what we haven't really talked about is the fact that I should have just glued this inlay onto the headstock instead of spending, 10 minutes or so essentially doing another inlay. I don't really know when to stop. Although, and here's a little insight to my thinking, it also was a case of trying to figure out what I could do while the neck was being glued in. I think that if the neck had been glued earlier, I probably wouldn't have done that. So it's going to end up a little proud, which is fine, a little 3D. I really like that effect actually. If you look at a car, it's got an indentation.
I'd stand back if I were you, camera person, because super glue splooges.
What a word. And what a fool, he's not wearing glasses. Crikey, man. Okay. At this stage, I think that is exhaustion and senility.
All right.
There we go, a logo. What's he looking for now?
This is kind of...
Oh, yes, control layout. It's one thing that wasn't actually on the templates that I had from Luigi. Don't cry.
7.5 hours. We're 7.5 hours in.
1 knot to go.
That's a whole 1.5 hours. Actually, that's a good point. That's not... yeah. Yeah, what the hell.
So, clean up around the inlay a little bit. Scrapers are fantastic. I might have said that
Right,
before.
so let's get this backplate off. Frankly, I think I could actually take the clamp off, but I am going to leave it for as long as humanly possible.
That is so pretty. We still only have 2 screws on those backplates.
That must be 240. All right. Backplate.
The edges were all roughly carved and roughly sanded on with the Merca, but you need to normalise it a little bit. In the end, it is a curve on a curve with something flat. So, yeah, there's always a rather large amount of hand sanding to be done on a custom guitar. Well, on any guitar, it must be said, really.
So
So this position won't necessarily line up perfectly with the
that's
production
good.
model.
now the top is far too thick here.
Because I played it safe with the routing. Are you slightly frightened right now? I certainly am. The clamp does not help. So, what I've done here is I drilled the pilot hole, which was only 2 or 3 mil. I then used the flat bit to start the hole at, I think it was 35 mil. Once you've got the hole started and you know you can go back to the big flat bit later, because it's already got a... essentially, these flat bits use the centre of it, the pointy bit. Don't do that, Ben. to locate themselves. By drilling the larger 10mm hole, I've lost that location ability. But I needed to drill the 10mm hole so I could see how thick my top was. That was a convoluted way of doing this, really, wasn't it? Yeah, this is the scary part. I'm also waiting to headbutt the clamp. Because, you know, comedy value.
It's naughty to use fret pullers to do anything other than pull frets, but hey.
Yes, the next day I did actually see a little dent in there and annoyed. I'm annoyed with myself.
Almost. Yeah, just a little. Okay, so we're going to have to do... Actually, that might even just fit.
No, it won't.
Almost. Okay, so we're in. We need... Hey baby, you're 14, aren't you?
What?
It's 11.5mm actually.
So, the barrel jack. This is a custom flatbed that I ground to... no, it's not. I'm lying to you through my teeth. It's just a 12mm. But here's the secret. I love step drills. It's going out to 14mm. Which is the size of that. Which means that the jack is going to be nicely recessed.
Let's go very...
Okay, what's wrong with that picture? Watch the drill. There we go. Backwards. If I was going forwards, I'm sure I would be ripping out some grain. And that's just... not what we want. So I'm sort of, yeah, going backwards. And it's a trick I use quite a lot, actually. Hey, Sean.
Just because we can, that's now nicely recessed.
Just because we can, we spent an extra 2 or 3 minutes doing something non-essential, and then drop all the tissue. Story of our life.
Okay. Now,
come up with it.
this is a picture of me panicking. Okay.
Do you have strings?
Yeah, we have strings.
I still haven't run permanent power to my workbench. We've just started using
So I can sit there.
100-watt irons, which is a bit overkill, but quick. Definitely quick. So the idea is to make a wiring loom
It's fine.
and pre-wire as much as I possibly can
One,
straight into my workbench.
2.
Good book. Melvin Hiscox.
They're going to be a little bit further apart than that, aren't they?
Make your own electric guitar.
There we go. You. All right. No, still got to heat up a little bit. Fine.
Helping hands. Sometimes useful, sometimes the bane of my life.
There you go.
Beautiful, Dimitri. Thank you very much.
Really shot, Sean. Cool knobs.
Sorry? No. No,
I suspect somebody's made a mistake
It seems that way.
because Luigi's very angry right now. Which can only mean that his prototype has failed because somebody messed up. Who was it?
Doesn't matter.
I hate not knowing. My phone's been on flight mode all day. I haven't seen a single email, I haven't seen a single text message or phone call. I'm in the dark. Okay, what am I doing here? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Oh, come on, helping hands, you're supposed to stand still.
As I said, bane of my existence. So pre-tin everything you can. Try not to breathe in the solder.
Stay. So to be honest, all I actually need from this one here is an earth and an output. Pick up in, pick up in.
Wiring is not my strong suit.
It's a bit of a waste. Some 4-core wire, but hey, what can you do?
Pre-tin.
Oh, my hands are wobbling now. Trying desperately not to blow on it.
I should stop myself doing it.
Okay, output, earth. We haven't shorted anything, although it was close. That there. Is okay. So you can go there now.
The concentration is gripping.
Are you going to paint your cavity?
Yes. Yes, I do have to put the shielding paint in the cavity, and I'm going to do it when I have access to the second one. Crimson Guitars rear guard. What's the catchphrase? Protect your back cavity, isn't it?
Yeah.
Still amuses me. Speaking of that, where is my shielding paint? There we go.
Everyone else is going to pub.
Are they all coming back here to watch the final? Oh, I hate that. That's going to be... Shit, is it up as 6? It's up as 5, isn't it?
In some parts of the world it's 5:30.
You should have used the helping hands there, Ben.
Right.
Not entirely sure why, but for years I only used a scalpel to strip wire, and I always thought that I was cool for doing that. It just takes time, and you cut yourself every now and then for no reason. I don't think that's really a good technique. Don't copy me. I'm in a rush. This is where it starts getting fun. Oh my goodness. We have roughly an hour left. That is... There is no way... We have an hour left. Look at that guitar. 0 finish, 0 wiring, 0 shielding. No fretwork has been done either. And look at this. He's just standing there, just calmly laughing away at some silly little vacuous joke in his head.
Okay. This is
This is what?
would you say it was coming down to the wire?
I would not say it's coming down to the wire because I'm not as cheesy as you, Sean. I'm sorry.
That was great. You know it.
Everybody in the comments, shout at Sean for that, please.
So you're
That's a
doing this
dad
up
joke
in
from
the
a
26 bits, really?
a young man.
I have the front cover of Melvin Hiscock's How to Build Your Own Guitar. It's all I've ever needed.
I have built more guitars using that wiring diagram than anything else. And I've made a lot of guitars.
Yeah, we might as well.
Fresh batch of the changeover.
I'll fill up. Was it full? We're still charging more.
Okay, cool. Earth. Earth. The earth is coming in, the live is coming into the middle. Quite frankly, we are coming together. Tom, you're still here, man. All right. How did it go making tools in Sapili?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Nice.
Could you send some? Could you bring some of them up? That'd be cool to see. I need somebody to cheer me up now. Actually, what I need is water. Slither, could you fill that for me?
Then we're doing a changeover.
Thank you. Alrighty. Okay. Now, I don't know. I think we clamped the neck up at 4. I haven't got a clue.
I think it was 4:15 actually.
We've got. Okay, I'm leaving that on. The moment of truth.
Looks good. Sandy, sandy, sandy. Far too many bits and pieces on my bench for a guitar in this stage of finish. But hey.
Okay, we have.
You can do a swap over.
Are you nervous yet? I'm nervous. I'm nervous, and I know what happened. Click here for episode 9, coming soon. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.